Hello, welcome to the Jon Gaunt podcast. Tonight, I'm asking the important question: are all MPs self-serving pigs? What's your view on that? I personally think they are. I've used that expression for so long, I'm almost bored with it myself. But I want to know what your opinion is. I mean, this weekend, all they've gone on about is, oh, we had to work on Saturday. Oh, the poor loves. What about the rest of us? Those people who have got two jobs, those people who are fighting the cost of living. Are the members of parliament really working for you? Because we pay their wages, don't forget. They should be working for you. But I'm increasingly thinking they're working for themselves. This is not party political. This isn't just about now slagging off Keir Starmer. It's about the whole of the political elite. We had to save British Steel. There was some stupid female MP down Cornwall way. She was Labour. I've forgotten her name. She's a no-mark. I'd never heard of her. But she was moaning that there wasn't a buffet car on the train from Cornwall. So I wrote back to her and said, have you never heard of packing up or a flask, you overprivileged snob? Remember, they get free first class tickets anyway. She could have gone to a sandwich shop, but no, she wanted to pick on this because she is the elite. That's why they're all pigs in the picture behind me today. All animals are equal, said George Orwell, but some are more equal than others. And don't compare me to a pig, by the way. I had to put myself in there as well. So hardworking Brits are juggling multiple jobs. They're battling the cost of living crisis. Pensioners, and it's not an exaggeration, this, they're choosing between heating and eating due to slashed winter fuel payments. So I want to know your view. Are they self-seekers? Are they self-servers? Are they only interested in themselves? Look, let's face it. Britain is broken. And I'll say something a bit controversial now. I think this saving British Steel is too little too late. The Chinese have stitched us up. They're going to run out of coke and they're going to close down anyway. It's just ludicrous. They should have saved it 2 years ago. Again, I'm talking about the whole elite. But then when you look at what's happening at the moment, they've just given themselves a pay rise, 2 and a bit percent. It's nothing in real terms. But not one of them, apart from Rupert Lowe, I guess, because he doesn't take his salary, not one of them said, I don't want it. I don't need the increase. What's that about? Why don't they say, no, we don't need these expenses? How can they take 2.5%? It's a couple of grand. They're now on 93 grand. How can they do that while stealing money of pensioners or robbing students? I'd like your views, please. Let's talk about this today because this is really getting on my nerves. So they get a pay rise. They've got taxpayer-funded expenses, like I say, including first-class train fares. They've got subsidised bars, so they're not going to worry about the fact national insurance has gone through the roof. My daughter runs a bar at the moment as well as doing her PhD. She says, Dad, it's going to kill us. You've now got to pay a kid at 16, which on one level is a good thing, the same as an older person. But she said, we can't afford it. She said, they're now on 40p less an hour, somebody who's collecting glasses, than she is for running the place, being the brains behind it. There's no way this is going to give anybody any incentive to get on in life. But this is because Labour in particular have not got a clue about business, although I don't think many of the Tories have either. So I just think it's ludicrous. They get their second homes. They can choose which one's their second home, and then they don't pay any fuel bills. But again, they're cutting the winter fuel allowance for OAPs, or an awful lot of them. And then you got some of these MPs claiming £900 extra for their doggy wuggies. Yeah, the Coventry MP. She got 900 quid more because she had to pay higher rent in London because she wanted a cockapoo with her. Why can't she pay for her own bloody cockapoo? They're taking the Michael. They are taking it completely out of us. out of it. And if you didn't believe me there, what about the honours list? Have you seen that? They've rewarded failure again. I'm not getting it rishy. It's his honours list. But have you seen the people, Grant Shapps, who can't decide what his real name is, if you understand what I mean? There was all that suggestion during the COVID of misappropriation of funds. He's been knighted. There's others who have got it. Coke, well, be careful what you say, John. The allegations of coke snorting from people like Michael Gove. He's now a lord. So the worse you are at your job, the better title you get. And then it's again a life of privilege. If they go into the House of Lords, what is it? £365 a day just for turning up, signing the register, and then effing off again. They are taking the mickey. They are pigs. They are self-serving pigs. And then I've got to ask you the question, are they dealing with the subjects that you want them to deal with? Over the weekend, I said, fine, work Saturday. Sort out British Steel. But could you not also now work Sunday or the following Saturday to sort out what's been happening in the northern towns? Answer, no. Because I'll tell you what they're hoping. They're hoping that over the Easter break, that the gang's subject and the women who were brutally assaulted disappear again. And the story falls off the agenda. It's an absolute disgrace. I want them to deal with immigration in a positive way. I've been saying for 3 or 4 weeks now, get them out of the hotels, get them into army tents, treat them properly, the ones who are already here, send videos back to Calais via YouTube, and less people will come. Less people come, be less of a burden. But they've got to get them out of the hotels first. Are you with me or are you against me? Don't forget you can leave comments down the side and I'll come to those in a minute. Maybe you've got an MP who you're pleased with. I doubt it. But maybe you've got a good MP. If you have, I want to hear that as well, please. And am I being too harsh? When are they going to deal with immigration correctly? Have a proper system that then, as I've said before, there's 2 problems. Number 1, the people are already here. We've got to solve that backlog. And 2, we've got to cut off the supply. No more people coming in. And then we have a proper immigration system where we choose the best, which isn't necessarily the most academic or the most intelligent, but it's the people we need. We need some baristas. We need street cleaners. We need people to work in factories. We need this. Pick those people, but from anywhere in the world, regardless of the colour of the skin or the religion or the rest of it. That's what we should be dealing with. I also want them to deal with this whole idea that what we're getting now is religious sectarianism in politics. We know why there's not an inquiry, Jess Phillips. You must think we're stupid. Even the pigs behind me know what you're up to. It's gerrymandering, effectively. You don't want to upset a particular community because if you do, they won't vote for you. They're not going to vote for you anyway. They've already voted before. And most of it's by postal votes. So this time, they're not going to vote for the old traditional parties. They're going to go for sectarianism because they know that gets them results. It's bloody sick. So I want that sorted out. Knife crime, gang violence, and of course the Northern girls. I'm being careful with my words. I hope you understand why. The Northern girls are all being ignored. And I wrote on my little bit of blurb here, and this is where we now start to have the conversation. Is Parliament and our MPs out of touch? Is it the end of political accountability? We've elected them. And don't forget, if you look at my picture, they're pigs from all over the house. They're not just Tories. They're not just Labour. I think they're all as bad as each other. What do you think? This is real talk radio. This is raw truth. It's fearless free speech. Don't be racist, but say whatever you want to say. We need to discuss this. And just let me introduce you to leader of the pigs. Ready? Wait for me to move. There he is. Sir Keir. Yeah, pardon. Him, right? I say the lot of them have all got their snouts in the trough and they've forgotten what they're meant to be doing, which is looking after us. They're on holiday. Who else gets a 2-week holiday at Easter apart from teachers? And you understand why they do, because the kids are off. Do these other people need 2 weeks off? No. Do they need that massive, well, they call it a recess? Oh, but we're still working in our constituencies. I bet you go into any constituency, you won't see an MP. They're on their freebies. They're on their holidays. And then they keep coming out with their stupid policies like the green policy, the sustainability, wrecking our car industry. It's not what we want. And again, that's across the board. I don't think anybody, well, a few greenies, but no, pardon the pun, but hardly anybody voted for any of that agenda. It's not a Tory agenda, and it's not, well, popular agenda. It's certainly not the Tories, and it's certainly not Labour. But it's becoming policy, because a few people who've worked for Oxfam now and again have suddenly decided we need to be like that. Forget about the fact that China is still opening coal mines. China is still fueling their plants. And also, we've got all that coal under, where is it? It's under Lincolnshire, isn't it? We're not digging it up. And now they've come up with the excuse, it's the wrong type of coal. Well, if that's not BS, I don't know what is. So we're now going to import the coal to make our steel. But do you know what? I don't think it's going to happen in time. I think Scunthorpe, and I say this with a heavy heart, if you live in Scunthorpe, you're knackered. They should have sorted you out ages ago. And you're not going to like this, some of you Tories. This all goes back to Thatcher. She wanted us to be a service country, effectively. Now, on one level, she was right. We became the centre of banking and that kind of stuff. And therefore, that's protected us against Trump's wilder tariffs. But that's only because we don't make anything. Britain, the soul, the heart and soul, the breathing heart of the Industrial Revolution, we don't make anything. It's all made in blooming China. This is unsustainable. It's completely wrong. And they're to blame. They're to blame. The political class, because they allow you to vote once every 4 or 5 years. But as I've said for ages, you can hardly put a poppadom between them. This honest list, I could be talking, I've been talking about the honest list for years. Every time. Nobody really deserves one, gets one. It always goes to the knobs. And usually knobs who've done absolutely shit jobs. Michael Gove, look at him at education. Grant Shapps, he's got different names. He was Michael Green at one point. Why should they get honours? Why should they then be fawned over? Please tell me, because I can't get my head around it. And they just carry on, snouts in the trough. They'll be back in their bars in 2 weeks in Westminster, subsidised food all the time, subsidised alcohol, subsidised rent boys probably, I don't know. They get it all on tick. There's got to be a revolution in this country. We need people who want to serve us and actually want to serve the country. I can't think of any of the present crop of MPs who actually are bothered about the rest of us. They're all just wallowing in their own muck, I guess is the best way to describe it. Look at the expensive scandal. Look at this woman who took 900 quid for a dog. Look at the way this woman coming up from the south, coming up from Cornwall, she was complaining there was no buffet car. Get off your lardy arse and make some sandwiches, love. Wrap them up in a bit of greaseproof paper, take a flask or take some bottles of water. It ain't that difficult. But no, she thought, and this is the thing about her. She went on Twitter to moan about this and Facebook. So she's got no awareness, no self-awareness that people, because then I noticed later, loads of people were slagging her off. She just hasn't got a clue. She thinks she's got a divine right to be pampered and looked after. And as I say, I'm not making a political point. This goes right across the parties. Absolutely right across them. They're betraying us. It's not Donald Trump who's betrayed us. It's these pigs in Westminster. Right, here we go then. Let's take your comments. Nigel Gordon, let's see what you're saying. I'm a carer 24/7, 365 days a year, and they moan about one day. I'll give them something to moan about. Yeah, they've all been moaning, or they've all done that. It's an honour. There's loads of these ones. It's an honour to go to Westminster today on a Saturday to serve our great country and save British steel. Well, one, you're not going to save it because it's too late. You should have done it beforehand. And two, British steel should never be in this position. Our coal mines shouldn't be closed. Again, I'll take you back to Mrs. Thatcher. Mrs. Thatcher did loads of good things. But on this, you got to say, there's so much coal under the ground and we're going green. We're going to not have enough power. That's the next thing that's going to happen. Crazy Miliband's ideas are going to end up, if there's a massive cold snap, we're going to end up with no lights on. It's going to be like back to, was it 1973? The winter of discontent, when we used to get told to turn off the electricity at a certain time because they turned off the main plants. This is Britain, the fifth biggest economy in the world. It's a complete and utter joke. Do you agree with me? Steve says, evening, John, on YouTube. Let's be honest, the self-serving pigs don't care about the people of this country. If they did. Why don't they drop their pay rise and put it back in for the pensioners struggling to live? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Why don't they, just one or two of them at least, just to make that token gesture? It's a couple of grand. It'll make no real difference. But say, I don't need the pay rise. I'm on £91,000 already. I don't pay for anything. All me lecky, me gas, me water, my council tax, that's the bloody cheek of it, is all paid on my second house. And I can choose which one's my second house. That's the other thing that's disgraceful. If it's more expensive in Birmingham than it is in London, they'll choose Birmingham. This can't be right. And then you've got people like Jess Phillips. Oh, I'm such a feminist. But oh no, I'm not tackling that issue at the moment. We should be having a public inquiry. You know we should. Why won't they give us one? I'll tell you. Because they've got something to hide. And again, I think this goes across all the parties. Cyril Smith was a Liberal Democrat and a pervert. There's two perverts for sure. Yeah, well, it looks like for sure in the Tory party at the in the Tory party at the moment. Labour Party, sorry. So you get mixed up. And in the Tory party, it's just madness. Absolute madness. And they're pigs, we're being taken for mugs. Dean Bowman says, well said, John. Thank you, Dean. Tell everyone I'm back and I'm firing on all cylinders, my friend. I agree. I was in the army. If it was good enough for me in barracks or tents, it's good enough for the illegals. Exactly. I do not understand. If we had a referendum on this tomorrow, no one would vote against the idea of them being put in tents. I'm not talking about tents without proper washing facilities, showers or whatever. I'm saying like the army do. What's wrong with that? It's good enough for our heroes. It'll be good enough for them. But showing the tents will make other people think twice before they came here. And that's what's got to happen. And then we've got to get to a points-based system where we say, yeah, you're great. We need you. We need the skills you've got. Come and live in Britain. Oh, but when you do come and live here, you can keep your religion. You can keep your customs. But we're not having barbecues in front gardens of whole lambs. We're not doing that anymore. And we're not going to bend to everything in our culture to match your culture. You're coming to our country, and our country is based on Christian values. So fit in or ship out. Chucks away, Stelios. And then I'd add to that, I'd say, because many people have done. The majority of people who've come to this country, wherever from in the world, have kept their culture, kept their languages, but also fitted in. Unlike the fat people who go to Benidorm and don't learn the language. They disgust me as well. If you're going to live in another country, learn the customs, learn the practices, learn the traditions, and be proud to be British. See, the problem at the moment is when you pass your citizen test, it's like a sub-CSE multiple choice. To get a passport and to be British should be really difficult. Do you know why? Because this is a great country. That's why every Tom, Dick, and Abdul want to come here. Let's be honest. Why aren't we prouder of it? Why do we make it more difficult? Are you listening, Kia, behind that pig there? I don't know why they put ears on him. I don't think the pig ears suit him. But anyway, there we go. Dark Angel. Evening, John. Evening, Dark. Who we got next? Ronnie Hurst. They've got their noses so far in the trough they could drown. Yeah. Mind you, I never realised. Did you know pigs can swim? I can't remember what it is. I saw a documentary where on cows, where they take, I think it was in Scotland or somewhere, where they chuck them in, and they're on a boat, and then they chuck them off the boat and they swim. I always believed that tale that if a pig swims, it cuts its own throat with its trotters, but evidently not. I would ban halal meat on an animal welfare grounds, says Jackie Ward. So would I, as some other countries have done. That would go a long way to help sort immigration. Well, not necessarily, because people can still eat other food that isn't prepared like that. But yeah, halal. But I'm going to be fair here. Same with kosher. I just don't think that should be allowed. It's not the way we are. I'm sorry. It's not. It's just not on. What's wrong with humanely stunning the animal and then killing it? I hate the whole idea of halal. And I hate the fact that if you go into any supermarket, they've been bragging that Aldi have got the cheapest lamb. It's all come from New Zealand. I saw Liz Kershaw, a very good friend of mine, used to be on Radio 2 and Radio 5 and all that. She was saying she got 2 legs of lamb and she was saying, oh, it's fantastic value. Got it for this price. And then she tried to make a political point. She said, but, how can it be so cheap if it's come halfway around the world, etc., etc.? When the real political point is, Liz, is this. How come it's all halal? How come it's not Welsh? How come the Welsh and the Cornish farmers have been put out of business effectively? I'm not having a go at you. I'm just saying that's wrong. 2 on the honours list. They get reward for total failure, says Ronnie. You're right. Oh, by the way, if you're listening later to one of the podcasts, don't forget we're on everything, Apple, Spotify, all the other things. Feel free to listen there. If you like it there, press the like button. Keep pressing the like button tonight as well. Loads of people watching tonight. Press the like button here on YouTube and Facebook and on Twitter. It all helps build the numbers. And as we build the numbers, the way the algorithms work, that means they serve this video to other people. Therefore, more people will follow me. Therefore, more advertising will come. And therefore, maybe I will begin to earn a living. In this meanwhile, if you'd like to buy me a coffee or a beer, £5 a time, you can do multiples of £5. Go to www.buymeabeer.com/Jon Gaunt and please donate. It's a donation. It all helps. Dark Angel says, I can't believe the state of this country. It's unbelievable. You're right. You're right. I went round the Ring Road in Coventry, built in the 60s, of course. And Lisa was driving and she went through this pothole. I said, blow it hell, Lisa, careful, can't you miss it? She said, look up from your phone for a minute, you idiot. So I did. And the whole of the Ring Road, I tell you, when we bombed Kabul back into the Stone Age, right, there were less potholes, well, more or less, than there is around the Ring Road in Coventry. What a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. This is the main road in Coventry. But it's not just Coventry, it's everywhere. They don't care. Like Birmingham. I see today the unions have turned down the pay deal, right? But I'm not going to just slag the unions off. What about the fact that Angela Rayner, she's about as much use as a chocolate fireguard. She said, oh, not to worry. We're sending the army in. Do you know who they've sent in? They've sent three army personnel, logistics, pen pushers. We really need more pen pushers in Birmingham. That's the problem, and that's why the place has gone bloody bankrupt. You may as well send in the It Ain't Our Fault Mum cast. Oh, we're the boys to entertain you, with music and laughter to help you on the way to raising the rafters with a hey, hey, hey. Oh, I love that program. They should repeat that, don't you think? Brilliant. But anyway, that's what it's like. It's sending in ENSA, the entertainment agency. But it's probably been decided by somebody from Denser. Somebody in the council. 3 army people going in, and we've been told the troops are not going to pick up the rubbish. Mental. And people in Birmingham are putting up with this. Craig86, he's on YouTube. He says, because of Mad Ed, Miliband, I suppose, we could have lost our steelworks here in Scunthorpe and the end of our town. Craig, I'm not being rude. You're going to lose your town anyway. You're going to lose. This is all typical Starmer. He only went up there because Farage went up the week before. And Farage was making political capital. And I know Farage before had closed it down. But I think he genuinely now wants to keep it open. But it's not going to happen. I doubt it. And when I say this, I say it with a heavy heart. But we should have sorted this ages ago. Like the coal mines. I'm a supporter of Thatcher. But closing the mines was rubbish. That got into who's got the biggest willy between her and Scargill. It was a standoff. Scargill should have had the second ballot when he didn't. And then that just gave her carte blanche to wreck the valleys. Just wreck them. Have you been to any of those towns? They're only just beginning to recover now. It's just madness. And the same with steel. How can we be, as I said before, I don't know if I said at the beginning of this, we are the cradle of the Industrial Revolution, especially here in the Midlands. And now we don't make anything. Not anything. And I blame the politicians. I also blame some of the unions. Got to be said. Are you listening, Kia? I hope you are, big boy. Anyway, let's carry on. Margaret Hughes says, our country, they have took us down the pan. Down the pan, Margaret, and around the U-bend, love, let me tell you. But what are we going to do? What are we, the people, going to do? We can't carry on like this. Gaunty, our whole political system is flawed, correct, says Glyn Collis. He's on Facebook. Again, a good mixture of people today. Do you need any qualifications to be a politician? No. Not one of Starmer cabinet has run their own business. So how can they run a country? Yeah, I must admit, it's funny as well. Who's the bloke who's in charge of this whole steel thing? Bald-headed bloke. He lied. He said he was a solicitor. It then turned out he'd never qualified. And he's now in charge of negotiations with the Chinese. He's a liar. But then they're still full of liars, aren't they? Rachel Thieves, a liar. She lied on her CV. Who's the other one? Haig. She was in charge of health. Lied. She about a mobile phone. Do you remember? It's stuff full of lies. But then we could go to the Tories and the lies they told during COVID and the PPE and the rest of it. They're all liars. They've got 90-odd thousand £1,000 a year, right? The X's, they've got to mount up to 50, 60, 70 grand on top, right? I'm just telling you. They used to even mark their own homework. They didn't even have to give chitties in before. I think they're meant to now. But then you've got the extra jobs. They've all got second jobs. Then they all know they're going to get a brilliant job when they stop being an MP, especially if they've been a minister. It's a gravy train. Choo-choo, choo-choo. And they're all on it. And they're ripping you off. They are disgusting, self-serving pigs. Seaside and Mark. Oh, I'm off for one tonight, aren't I? Surely this deserves a coffee or a cold beer. Or you can do the YouTube thing. What's it called? Gift me. It's called Gift Me Something. Or I don't know what it's called. But if you want to do that as well, feel free. I said gift, not fist. Sorry, that's a bit rude. The whole of Parliament needs reform. Pardon the pun. Yeah, well, yeah. I wish they'd get themselves together as well, because at least then maybe they could do something. What we got next? Self-serving PDF files. I've only just got that as I read it. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, don't use that word on YouTube. They don't like it, so be careful. And I can't believe the girls aren't getting justice. Can you? How do you sleep with yourself at night? I don't know. Nobody would sleep. Anyway, what's her name? Jess Phillips. How does she sleep with herself at night? Denying those girls justice. It's just not right. Dennis Skinner once called for MPs increases to be donated to charity. Yeah, the beast of Bolsover. You can say a lot of things about Dennis Skinner, and it has been said a lot about him before, but he was kind of a man of honour. There was another one, Labour guy, Dave Nellist. He was an MP for Coventry. I know him very well, actually. Well, I used to know him very, very well. He worked in a solicitor's office with a very, very good friend of mine who's now a judge, or was a judge. I think he might have retired. However, he only took the wage of a skilled worker in Coventry. I don't agree with that personally. I think if the wage is X, you take it. But I think in extraordinary times like we're going through now, you don't take a pay rise. If you're already on 91 grand plus all the X's you can sign for, you don't need another two and a bit, do you? Come on. Come on. Come on. It's true. Ronnie Hurst, I like it. He says the government couldn't run a bath. John, if Leeds win promotion this season, I'll buy you 10 beers. Well, if you're any kind of Leeds fan, Steve, you'd be buying it today. You'd be buying it today because they're going to get promoted. They're brilliant compared to all the other teams. They're leagues, pardon the pun, leagues above us. I mean, I think Coventry are playing tonight, of course. I think Coventry will get the 5th of the playoff point, maybe. I don't know. But we're nowhere near. We're nowhere near as good as you. What's this one? If Blackpool win promotion, I'll give you 20 beers. Says Seaside Mark. Thank you. Right. First time ever, I'm going to be hoping other teams get promoted rather than Coventry. But listen, you don't have to wait to buy me 20 beers. Buy me a couple now. It's the need is now. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Big issue. Henry Ives. Oh, good to hear from you again, Henry. Henry lives in Birmingham. The gloves have to come off Trump style. Off the boat, onto the plane home. I wouldn't send them on a plane, but I'm back on the boat. Irrespective of what happens to them when they get back. I wouldn't go that far. The Ginger Growler was in Birmingham today, so we're saved. Yes, she is Jesus Christ. She is Jesus Christ, Henry. In fact, everybody says when they see her, Jesus Christ. And that's her. You're talking about Angela Rayner, aren't you? How did she get to be deputy? Well, I think. Anyway, I'm not allowed to talk about that. I've got a good idea. So many things going on and all bad for our manufacturing, and our manufacturing has been decimated, says Dark Angel. Dark Angel, you are correct. I think MPs and school teachers should work in the real world for at least 2 years, then do their job, says Nigel. I wouldn't necessarily put our teachers in with the MPs. I think that's a bit unfair. Henry says, Jess Phillips is my MP in Yardley in Birmingham. God help us all. There it is, just in case you think I'm making it up. I forgot to press the button. I do apologise, Henry. There you are. There's your moment of fame. Anybody else want to say anything? I want to hear from you. Can you believe they're getting a pay rise? Can you believe they're still taking all the X's they can get their little trotters on? Can you believe the way they got this sense of privilege? So this woman can say, there's no buffet car and I'm going to complain about it on Twitter and humiliate people. Well, in the end, she got humiliated. But do you know what I'm trying to say? I find all of this incredible. By their own admission, this is a party political point. Labour said that 4,000 pensioners could die by the winter fuel allowance being taken of them. They said that, not the Tories, not anybody else. How can you sleep at night, Starmer? And Starmer, why won't you have the inquiries? What is your problem? Talking of inquiries, of course, it's come out now, isn't it, that Ruda, what's his name, Cabana, right? The Southport slayer, yeah? 3 times they could have arrested him and put him down. And now their own people are saying, they're saying there's no evidence of 2-tier. I wrote this on my phone. Said there's no evidence of 2-tier law in any of those sentencing. What a load of shit that is, don't you think? But also, they have actually said Starmer was wrong not to tell people straight away, look, he's not an immigrant who's just arrived on a boat. He's also not a Muslim, as far as we know. That could have helped to quell the riots. No, loads of people lost it. Loads of white people have got, and they are white predominantly, have gone to prison. When they got to the police station, they were given the duty solicitor. The duty solicitor would have said to them, look, cough for it, and you'll get so many % off any possible sentence. So you're looking at 3 years if you get found guilty. You'll get 2. So then they probably think, 2, I'll only do 50% of that, so that's a year. Okay, and they cough for it. A lot of those people, if they'd fought it with a proper solicitor, and I was speaking to a very, very highly placed solicitor, human rights guy who really knows the law, right? Yeah, okay, he's a human rights lawyer, but he knows what he's talking about. He reckons that most of those people would not have got a custodial if they'd gone with their own solicitors. if they'd said, no, I want to go to proper court. That's shocking, isn't it? It is shocking, especially if Starmer knew about the ricin and the Al-Qaeda book. Well, they reckon he knew about that within the day. I don't know whether he knew that this guy had been checked out before, but that's just crazy. PM Tier Stomer, because she's full of it. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, just man. And then you got West Yorkshire. They've just got another couple of notes. I just want to talk about these. West Yorkshire Police don't want whites. Right? They don't want any white people to apply for the jobs, and evidently that's not racist. I'd like to see them say no blacks, no Jews, no Irish, no dogs. Is that their next recruitment policy in West Yorkshire? I used to represent the Federation up there. Well, I represented most of the coppers, as you know. Just mad. Just mad. Oh, and then the thing they put right at the top of me thing, you can probably see it there. See it? 652 boats. People arrived, not boats. People arrived on boats over the weekend. What an absolute joke this country has become. Why can't Starmer understand that what we, the people, want? We don't want what he's doing now. And we'll give him a second chance. If he starts with the agenda of tough on law and order, tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime, tough on the consequences of crime, strong on our borders, stop the boats, which I don't think is that difficult. Get the hotels back so we can have our weddings in them. That's what we want, isn't it? That's what we want. Yeah. And none of that is racist. And say to people, if you want to come and live in the greatest country in the world, you can be British. You can be. And anybody who says you're not British, we will severely punish. But you can't come and then think you're still in Pakistan. You can't. You literally can't. We don't want that in our country. But now I'm a racist, I guess. Right, that's me finished. Brilliant turnout tonight. Thank you very much indeed. I'll be back tomorrow at 6:30. 6:30 seems quite a good time to be doing it at. So unless we get lots of objections, I think we'll carry on. If you've enjoyed the show live, thank you. If you want to listen again or watch again, it's on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook. Also on my website, although I'm going to get rid of that. Websites are very last century, aren't they? So I'm probably going to get rid of that. But you can also, of course, listen to the podcasts on Spotify and on all the other platforms where it is. It's the Jon Gaunt Show. If you want my YouTube, it's Jon Gaunt TV. And by the way, that's going brilliant. We've got over 3,000 subscribers. That's very kind of you. And if you want to contribute on YouTube, you can become a member and pay, or you can do one of those gift things, or you can buy me a coffee or a beer. Only a £5. Most of you buy me 3, but whatever you want to do, let's keep this going, because I feel now we're beginning to get momentum. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for listening. And most of all, thank you for spreading the word. Keep telling people Gaunty is back. I'll speak to you tomorrow. All the best. Oh, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.